But I have a pretty good idea. It's a lovely song, and we'll do it a couple times, so maybe the second time through it, you'll know it better. One more time. Okay. Where I sit is holy, holy is the ground. Forest, mountain, river, listen to the sound. Great Spirit circles all around me. Who I am is holy, holy are we. Body, thought, emotion connecting you and me. Great Spirit circles all around me. What I do is holy, holy is my way. Work and play together, celebrate the day. Great Spirit circles all around me. Repeat that last line. Great Spirit circles all around me.
Good morning. Where we sit is holy. My name is Susan Clutis, and I'm your trustee on duty today. On behalf of Reverend Donna and the Board of Trustees, I'm privileged to welcome you here to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you're meant to be. We express love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. You'll find our declaration of principles on the back of your program. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there's an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. You know, I missed something, I see. I did not tell you that our vision statement is love in action every day in every way. So, do we have any first-timers here today? Okay, well then, our old-timers, you're welcome each and every one.
Actually, I was here 7 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and he said he's an old-time friend of our Eric, so you know, you express that spirit for us as well. I'd like to thank all the people who made today possible, and many of you have done extra work above and beyond, but everyone that comes is doing part to make this service possible, so thank you all. Please direct your attention to the announcements that are in your bulletin. And if you're watching online, please visit cslaz.org for our announcements on our events calendar. So please silence your phones.
The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. Thank you. I was going to say my name is Louise, but we all know each other here. So first thing I want to say is, as practitioners, we are the praying arm of the church. And so if you have a prayer request, something that you would just like prayer for, please be sure to leave a prayer request in the box there. There should be birthday cards out, but if there's not, if you are not on the birthday card list, I will make sure we got those out there, and fill out a card and put your birthday, and we'll send you out a card. You don't have to put the year you're born, just we'll just get you a card if you put that date. And be sure to give me the address that you're going to be at when your birthday takes place, just in case you're not here year-round. So I light this candle, just knowing that each one of us here is a light that goes out into the world. So I'm going to do the invocation now. If you just get comfortable and just know that there is one God, one power, one presence in the universe, that God is all there is, and know that each one of us is one with that power, with that presence. Each one of us is divinely guided. We simply just need to acknowledge it and open our hearts to God, to that power, to that presence. And I know that today's service is unfolding just as it should, perfectly, wonderfully. It is a union of our minds as the mind of God. And I anchor this by saying, and so it is. So my reading today is a meditation out of the Science of Mind text. And it is, so I will start. I accept the fullness of my own divine well-being. Within myself is that which is perfect, that which is complete, and that which is divine, that which was never born and cannot die, that which lives, which is God, the eternal reality. Within myself is peace, poise, power, wholeness, and happiness. All the power that there is, and all the presence that there is, and all the life that there is God, the living Spirit Almighty. And this divine and living Spirit is within me. It is wholeness. It is never weary. It is never tired. It is life. It is complete peace. It is never afraid. It is never confused. It is always poised and peaceful. It is always in a state of perfect equilibrium. This is the truth about myself. This is the truth about you. There is no other self. Every image of fear is erased from my mind. Every sense of confusion leaves my thought. My mind now entertains and reflects the divine into everything which I do, say, and think, into my body, into my affairs. That divine within me is wholeness, and my mind reflects this wholeness into every organ, every function, every action, every reaction of my physical being, renewing it after the perfect pattern, the Christ within me, the Christ within you. Universal substance reflects itself into my mind, into daily supply, so that everything I need each day is supplied. Before the need is the thing, and with the apparent need, it is met. There is something within me which goes before me and prepares the way wherever I go, wherever you go, making straight the way, making perfect the way, making immediate and instant and permanent and harmonious every situation. Consequently, my mind reflects the fullness of that divine substance, which heals every sense of lack in my life. Peace, poise, power, perfection, living spirit within you, within me, within all. I accept the fullness of my own divine well-being. Namaste. So I take this candle and I hold the high watch during the service for each and every person here and for those who can't be here with us today.
This song is called Ordinary Divine. Everything is ordinary. Everything's divine. The divine is ordinary. The ordinary divine. You held a cup of coffee. Sleepy were your eyes. An ordinary moment, ordinary divine. I saw your face and the way the shadow caught your smile in the ordinary light. La 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 la. Lilies in my garden, growing strong and tall. A little sun, earth and rain, a little love, that's all. You touch my hand, and a million tiny stars came alive. Just an ordinary touch. This is my hymn of praise. For ordinary days. The ordinary, the ordinary, the ordinary is divine.
Thank you, Wally. The ordinary truly is divine. I'm John. Good morning. Better? All right. I'm filling in for Reverend Donna today because she and John are flying off to Reno. No. Actually, they're flying off as we speak to San Diego to visit and attend the graduations of a couple of their grandchildren. So it's my pleasure to be with you today and to be your guest speaker. So the title of my talk is Into TV, and I'll explain that. Have you heard of the allegory of the cave? Yes. In this allegory, is written by Plato. Plato describes how men are chained down and forced to stare at a wall in a cave. There is a flame behind a low wall behind them, and puppeteers put shapes in front of the flame to cast shadows on the wall in front of the men. And they make sounds. Now the puppeteers themselves can't be seen by the men. These images on the cave's wall are the only reality they know. When one of the men escapes the cave and tries to come back in and get the others to leave, they attack him and call him insane because he questioned their reality. They had no clue that there was any other reality other than what they could see on the wall of the cave. Now imagine if your entire universe consisted of a few rooms with no windows, showing nothing of the outside world but what you saw on TV. And what you saw on TV were only indoor programs. They never showed the outside world. They were sitcoms, talk shows, and no scenes of what was out there. Your God would be the scientist who captured you as infants from a dying jungle in the Far East and brought you to a super secret scientific facility in the US where you live and have been raised since you were babies. Your existence consists of watching TV, working on an assembly line, eating and sleeping, with the occasional candy bar or Big Mac for a treat. As far as you've experienced, there are only 6 of you in the entire universe, except your God, Dr. Craig Keller. As far as you know, you and the 5 others like you are the only real people in existence. Everyone else you come in contact with aren't really people like you, but creatures that you call shatterfaces, including your God, who only mean to control or harm you, and whose bottomless pit eyes you can barely stand to look into, because to do so would shatter your soul. You're treated adequately, but disobedience gets you punishment with a cattle prod, which you call a snickerstein. And although you do have the ability to talk, you're discouraged from doing so. And you communicate via sign language with each other and the other shatterfaces. But instinctively, you yearn for a bigger world and want desperately to go into the worlds shown on TV. And these worlds, as far as you know, are called Seinfeld, Stephen Colbert, ER, or Ellen, among others. Now, going into the TV seems impossible, however, and your first experience of the outside world is a lot more than you bargained for or could even have imagined. So I'm getting this from this book that I just read by Whitley Strieber, and it's called New. It was published in 2017, and it's an exciting, joyous story of what happens when a new creature with a new mind, but as intelligent as us, comes into the world. As a jungle is clear-cut in the Far East, a team from a drug company worked desperately to find plants that they can turn into medicines. But they find something altogether different and truly spectacular. A group of 6 abandoned infants. They aren't human, but they aren't apes either. Named Orang-Tanda. The scientists spirit them off to the United States and raise them in extreme secrecy in a facility in Texas. They don't share our DNA, but they are highly intelligent. And this makes them incredibly valuable. And the company that discovered them sees a fortune in the making by selling their offspring. And because they're not human, they can be bought and sold. Now the problem is they're not breeding. So they bring in primatologist Beth Cook, who's brought in to try and get them to start breeding. And along with her Army Ranger husband, Charlie, if they have anything to say about that, they are going to liberate these people. Beth finds the company's plans for the Orang-Tanda a grotesque nightmare and vows to free them. But can she? And if she does, what will happen to these 6 strange and brilliant creatures when they face the modern world? Will these brilliant captives get their chance to discover themselves, to look up at the stars, to be free? Or will they become an animal commodity bought and sold like cattle? So this is a story about hope, human courage in an impossible situation, and above all, about looking up at the sky for the first time with eyes that are truly new. I must confess that the ending of this story brought me to tears. So can we look at our world every moment, every day, with eyes that are truly new? We live, move, and have our being in our own living 3D TV program, which we create moment by moment through our beliefs, thoughts, choices, words, and actions. Strictly from our point of view and perspective, we are the center of the universe. From our physical point of view, looking out, the world seems to literally surround and revolve solely around us. No wonder we used to believe that the earth was the center of the universe and that the sun and stars revolved around us. Now, the word television originates from the Greek word tele, which means far off, afar, at, or to a distance, and vision from the Latin visionem, to see. Now, when the orangutanga first experience the outside world, they think they have gone into the TV that they've been looking at all these years and are in an enormous new room, an expansive program, and that the sky is the ceiling across which float ever-changing white objects, and a bright, hot ball moves across it when the ceiling is blue, and a white, cold ball moves across it when it's black and dark, and pinpoints of light come out. Now, despite living and having our being in this ultimate program we call life, humanity has still continuously felt compelled to capture and reproduce its beauty, magnificence, and realism with art, photography, film, and now video. And yet, we still automatically tend to disbelieve what we have no experience of. How many of you remember Cinerama? It was a film medium introduced in the 1950s to lure people back into movie theaters as TV was taking over. It captured images on film with 3 interlocked cameras and shown with 3 synchronized projectors to create a widescreen panoramic image. Disney even took it a step further with Circarama, which was a full 360-degree technique that used 11 screens and 11 projectors and was an attraction in Tomorrowland. This thing went all the way around you. So when it was showing, you'd be twisting and turning. And the theater inside, you would stand up, the theater inside had handrails for you to hang on to so that you wouldn't tip over during some of the faster or flying shots. 3D movies also made a brief splash in the 50s. And now, today, we have high definition, wide flat screen TVs, some of which can exhibit 3D with the aid of glasses. We exist in an infinite living 3D Circarama TV program, which also includes feeling, emotion, sensation, and multi-channel sound. It's created and projected by an infinite, intelligent, universal, guiding, organizing, designing principle. In other words, God. Co-created through us and experienced by us. Within it, we are more than just observers, however. We are active, volitional participants. At the back of this projection, and filtered through it, there is our mind and imagination, which are aspects and outpicturings of divine mind. And to the degree that we are conscious of these aspects, we can use them to mold our experience and manifestation of our own personal cosmic projection and what appears on our screen. So what TV programs are you creating and moving in and through as your life today? Are you aware that there are so many, many more programs than Seinfeld, Ellen, or Grey's Anatomy? That there is more than just one channel? Are you aware that there is infinitely so much more than in this very room? Look up at the ceiling of your experience and with new eyes see through it and beyond it and see the sky. Thank you. Namaste.
So you have the words to this song, and you probably have them somewhat in muscle memory. There were two versions of this song that were popular, and the one I'm going to do is closer to the Louis Armstrong version. There is a newer version by a beautiful Hawaiian man named Iz, but I'm going to do more closer to Louis. And here we go. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn so much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.